Good evening everyone. So today we're at a Renault Laguna MK3. This is a 2010 model. Today's problem is it needs a suspension lower arm. So there's the Delphi part number TC2551 Renault. So this job is proving to be a bit of pain. It is so tight for the access. It talks about removing subframes and everything else, so I'll take you through the job as we go along it, but it ain't an easy job. That 18, you have to remove that 18 to lower the subframe, because that goes through to this like drop link or whatever it is. I don't know what they call that, but that's an 18 bolt, has to be removed in order to get wiggle room at the subframe. First things first, release the bottom ball joint. It's an 18mm spanner. Bit tight, but it does come away. So, the next time you pull down the wishbone, or the lower suspension arm, now we've got this fancy gadget tool here. But Roddy, if we didn't have this tool, what would you do normally?
Oh, couldn't do it.
Could you know?
Big bar.
Oh, a big bar in there.
Aye.
Right, so a big bar would just to ease that down. So I'll show you how this thing works. This is a fantastic tool. Right. Come back with you, so you just put that thing in there. You got to chop it ready at the same time. It's no fun moving. Oh, there we go, it moved.
Keep the tension, eh?
That's it. So the secret is to keep the tension on it. Is that as clear, my man? Right, we'll just keep it going. Our good friend Dave Sterrell's got one of them. Well, I haven't put us on it. Oh, there we go. So plenty of room there now.
That's it. It stays there.
That's it. So we'll you remove this silly wee bracket. There we go. That's it off. Where did it go? Oh, no meter. So you remove that bracket from underneath there.
Hooks.
That's a hook. I don't know. Kind of hook bracket, we think. You see it down here already? There we go. So that kind of funny looking thing there. So, but we'll have a modification. We're only going to share with you. Reminds us of Mondays we used to do years ago. So we then removed this. What do you call that? A bush bolt. Bush bolt. And that's a 30 at this side. And what's that at the other side, Roddy?
Yeah, 21.
21 at the top end. So that's why you undo this one first, the bottom ball joint.
It's only half a nut though.
Oh, right. To go in it. So that's right, look at that. There's no much depth to that. So it's tight, eh, Roddy?
Aye.
Man tight. So we're then, with that clip removed, oh dear, where did I get my light on? With that clip removed, we've then took that bolt, which was 21, Roddy?
21 at the top.
21.
Yeah, the bottom and 16.
21 and 16 at the top, and we're then going to try and get into, it's a matter of
That's it.
wedging that up. There's the bolt there. So what we do, we try and manipulate the subframe by not removing it, but just giving us enough space to get that bolt out. So I'll need to batter this up. As Roddy puts a bar in there and just takes the subframe, just doing a little bit, Roddy, and then that gives us enough room.
I'm actually, what I'm doing is, I'm moving the bolt as you're hitting it.
Oh, right. Well, I can't film this at the same time, so I'll get back to you once it's out. There is the bolt. So we had to use a punch and go up through that, and as Roddy manipulated the subframe down, and that's how we get that. So you can see that's a 16. But what we're going to do, once we replace this lower suspension arm, we're just simply going to take the bolt and pop it back up through this way, like you used to do in the Mondeos, and then we could put the top, we'll just reverse it. So we cannot see any problem in doing this. It's just
Same diameter.
same diameter, and there's no any bushing in this one. So I don't know why they made it this way. If they just turned the bolt round the other way, far easier. So this car's in for regular service, and then we can keep an eye on this.
See that there? See you're hitting the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm.
You hit up here
Ah, right.
to knock it out.
To knock it, because it goes at a slant.
Slant.
Right.
Drop it there. Hits the...
Aye. We've actually seen a video on YouTube, somebody actually cut this to get it back in, but we'd rather just reverse the bolt to put it back in. So there we go. You can see there we've removed the drive shaft, and that gives us far greater access to get the wishbone out and get the new one back in. So that's the next thing we're going to do. The other thing I was going to say was we had to remove a couple of these. There we go. Sorry about the mess here today. So we had to remove that bolt there. That goes into the subframe and its friend at the other side as well, in order just to get enough movement on this thing to, what do you call it, so it could come down so we could release that bolt, because otherwise, if we didn't do that, we need to remove the entire subframe. You don't want to be doing that, because you can see that the actual steering rack is mounted on top of that, so, oh no, there's always an easy way to do a job. So that's the bolt back in, so the 16 mils at this side and the 21mm nuts at the other side. So technically, the bolt is upside down, but I think the job will be a good one. That's going nowhere. And as ever, when you do suspension, you're better to tighten everything when it's back on the ground for a final nip up. So that one's back in as well. So I think the spec actually says for these, once they're, it just says 100, oh no, sorry. The spec says 180 newton meters. So that must be about 120 or 130 pound, I would reckon. So we'll get our torque bar out and we'll torque them up at the end. So there you go. So we'll just put the rest of the gubbins back together. We'll put our bar back on. Our tension thing, draw that back down, like that. We can just about do it by hand right here. Nah, we need the bar. Make life easy for ourselves. So that's us. Going to put our drive shaft back in. You really do not want the drive shaft popping out the gearbox. That'll really ruin your day. There we go, back in. And then put the nut back on, and then once we've done that, we'll offer up the bottom ball joint. There we go, just a smidgen, as they say. Yes. There we go. Yes, there we go. As they say, the eagle has landed. So when you're offering the subframe back up, you need to put the jack on it, just to take her back up, see that? It moves up quite a bit, eh? There we go. Remember, there's the bolt ready. What are you looking for, lad? Oh, there we go. What a difference. Perfect. As you can see, Roddy does all the work right here. Perfect. Oh, right. So that's 16.
16,
That plate.
and then 30 at the front.
Oh, right, that wee one there.
16 that side. 30 there.
Did we?
No.
No.
Well, no, that was underneath the shield.
Right.
The cover.
Oh, that's right. The cover bent here.
Right, so we'll just tighten them up. Let's put it up a bit there. Just take
Oh, look at
here.
that. It's amazing the movement in that.
Aye.
Oh, look at that. It's even drawing back the wishbones and everything like that.
That's it. Let's take it that.
Go for that.
Yeah, we get a big gun in. What was the difference here?